sitting in my living room looking at the lake out front here. Beautiful lake, usually. Today it is drippy, rainy, cold. The lake looks like it's fogged over. It's so raining out there. And it is cold. This is March 21st in Central Florida. We should not be this cold this time of the year. But here we are having freezing cold weather. And I say freezing cold. A lot of you are laughing at me when I say freezing cold. But the Floridians, when you have a temperature between 50 and 60 and the wind chills in the 20s, we're cold. We go put our sweaters on. And I laugh because where I live, there's a lot of people that walk here with, in fact, I had to chuckle yesterday when I was leaving to go to church, that they were wearing shorts and a sweater. And I knew they were not originally from here, because most Floridians, when it gets to this little chill, we're putting on our blue jeans, our boots, our jackets, and some people actually will put a cap on or something. We just aren't used to when it's cold, because 90% of the time in Florida, it's warm. But it brought a memory back of when we were children. My mother, every Easter, we had 3 little girls, and she would get all of us Easter outfits. And they were usually light colored, either pinks or yellows or greens or something light colored. And little white sandals and little socks. I know most of you have seen the socks with the little lace around the edge. And then we would get, it's some years, it's according to the season and what the society was doing. But some of those times they had little hats and little white gloves. And that was our Easter outfits. And sometimes Mama had to make them because we didn't have the money to buy them. But we always had Easter outfits to wear to Sunday on Easter Sunday. And I remember many times, not just once, but many times, we would get all these little outfits. She would iron them, because back then you had to iron everything. We would get all ready Sunday morning, get ready to go and get in the car. And it would be so cold, we'd have to come back in the house and put our coat on. Not a jacket, a full coat. Because sometimes we'd be in the 20s and 30s in April. That is really Florida's cold season, February, March, and April. That's especially March. It's usually, in the years ago, definitely, would be our coldest time. And here we were in our little summer dresses with our little socks, our little sandals, and have to put a full-blown coat over it. And that's when I felt the Lord say, that's life. You do all the preparing you can. Mama would prepare for her 3 little girls and herself. She'd get something nice for herself. And she definitely wore hats in the 60s, early 60s. No gloves, but hats to church. And she'd get us all ready. But then you'd have to put a coat on. And a lot of times, that's life. We do everything we can to prepare what's ahead. But then life steps in and you have to put a coat on. But it's okay, because once we got to church, we could take that coat off and show off our pretty little Easter dresses.